So for the wrist mobility, take your fingers, point them back towards your knees. Keep your palms flat. Keep your shoulders pulled down away from the ears. You're going to rock your hips back. Keep your palms flat. As you do this, if you keep your elbows straight, you're going to feel a stretch through those wrists. This is going to help prime your wrists for accepting a lot of load, since we're going to be on them a lot for this training program. From there, to enhance the stretch, you're going to roll your palm slightly up into the air so that you put more weight on the end of your palm where your fingers and your palm meet. Again, try not to shrug into your shoulders. You want to keep the shoulders pulled down away from your ears. And then from a stretch standpoint, you rock back as far as you feel comfortable. And if you need to make this easier, just slide your hands back further through your legs. For the child's pose to Cobra, you want to sit your rear end all the way back to your heels and then stretch your hands out as far forward as you can. To get to the Cobra position, all you're going to do is slide your pelvis forward, engage your glutes to protect your low back, and then you're going to draw your shoulders down, and then you really want to focus on pushing your chest forward so that you're getting a lengthening stretch. You don't want to just crunch your lumbar spine here by dropping the pelvis to the floor. So really think about pushing your chest forward and then lifting it up into the air. As you do that, really focus on that shoulder engagement. You want the shoulders down away from the ears, and you want to feel those muscles that kind of flank your spine engaging to keep those shoulders down. We call those your lats. For your quadruped spinal position, you're just going to have your wrists and your shoulders in line, and then your knees and your hips in line. This is going to feel like a weird motion at first, but basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to take your rib cage in a big circle. So you're going to start by kicking your ribs off to one side, then you're going to round your back, take your ribs to the other side, and then drop your spine to the ground. Your elbows are going to want to bend. Try to keep them straight as you do this. Your pelvis is going to join along for the ride, but you shouldn't have a major shifting side to side. Your knees should, your thighs should stay relatively parallel as you do this to each other, so that the motion, while it's really big in the thoracic spine, is not very big in the legs. If you find this difficult, start out with a smaller motion and you can work into a bigger motion as you go. We're going to do this before every single workout, so you're going to get really good at it as we go through these 8 weeks. For the lateral line stretch, what you're going to do is you're going to stay in that same quadruped position. What you're going to do is walk your hands off to one side or the other. Then you're going to keep your palms planted, your elbows straight, and you're going to shift your hips back on the diagonal line so that you are, if my hands are off to the left, I'm kind of sitting my rear end down to my right leg. This is going to allow you to get a nice stretch through the side of your body. So I'll show you a couple of different versions or angles of this so you can see. Keep the elbows straight. Let the hips sitting back be the guide for your stretch. Again, you go to a point where you feel comfortable. You don't have to go into pain. In fact, I don't want you to have any pain while you're doing these stretches. They should feel good. Just a point about your knees. You want some padding underneath your knees while you're doing these exercises. So you could fold up a towel. If you're traveling, hotel towel will work great for that. But don't do this on a hard surface. Your knees will be a little uncomfortable by the end of this. All right, so for the hip flexor stretch, you're gonna be in a lunge position, but I want you to exaggerate that lunge. You can take a little bit wider stance. The focus here is on the butt cheek of the down knee. So as you slide your pelvis forward, you want to really focus on squeezing the butt cheek of that down knee so that you feel the stretch through the front of the hip. I'm going to show you from a couple of different angles. So get into that lunge position, and then you could just exaggerate this lunge again. You can see from the front. You're going to squeeze the butt cheek as you push your hips forward, and then come into and out of that.